Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Mile High Game Guys board gaming podcast. I'm your host, Adrian.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Jeff.
And we're back.
Yes.
It's been a minute. My work schedule continues to be the worst.
Random. Are we on days now or nights?
I am on, so this is being recorded within an hour of me waking up from getting home and passing out for way longer than I intended after my last night shift of the rotation. So for the next 4 weeks, I'm on days. And 1 week of that is CabinCon.
Woo.
Woo!
It's a hard day's night.
Yeah. The really fun thing is that, not counting today, there are 3 days that I'm available until July.
Impressive.
So we'll be next week and then these 2 weeks.
That schedule part seems weird because it's on the same where normally the 26th you would have had off.
Yeah, so I'm really glad I'm not the other team. So this like little section here, the 20th through the 23rd, the other teams have to work 4 in a row, which means I get 4 days off. So normally that would be shifted one more because they'd only be 3. So I'd be the 23rd, 24th, 25th, and then off the 26th. So yeah.
It's great that everybody can see what you're pointing out.
I know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Riveting content.
Especially on a podcast.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's that.
Riveting, not just for skyscrapers.
And boats.
Are boats riveted these days?
Probably not anymore.
Okay.
I don't know how they actually.
Do you remember the submarine? Can you give me all the structural specifications on that, perchance?
Yes.
And maybe some nuclear codes?
That I cannot do.
It's been my long con.
I worked in a different nuclear part of the sub, the reactor, not up where the missiles were. I did sleep next to the missiles.
Interesting.
Yeah. So the bunks are all like, the doors to the bunks are between the missile tubes. The missile tubes like go into the bunk rooms.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I would not want to be in there if that happened.
We never launched missiles.
Well, we're still here, so
Yeah.
obviously.
They do tests and things, and like,
Oh, they test them.
and they've retrofitted a lot of the submarines to no longer carry nukes. They now carry like ballistic missiles, or like 1 or 2 of them got retrofitted to have like doors in the missile tubes inside the sub, so that like they could load like Navy SEALs in, and then like open the hatch and like let them swim out.
Just
stuff like
fire
that.
at them at the speed of a missile. Just a Navy SEAL.
Intercontinental ballistic seals.
I've seen that clip of that Indian movie where those guys like get up in a shield and then they get like catapulted up and they all like 500 feet in the air and then they just
That tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, I have also seen that clip.
But yes, so they're point being, we didn't do any kind of test launches or any kind of launching or anything. And so I don't know like how loud it is inside.
International or Intercontinental Ballistic Seals.
Yes.
IBS.
That's That's a different thing.
I don't know how loud it is in the sub when you launch a missile, was the point.
Gotcha.
And on that note, let's talk about board games on this board gaming podcast. It has been weeks since we recorded, so there should be some games that have been played.
Yes.
Zach, would you like to start?
Both of my games are ones that you guys have played.
Oh.
So
Jeff, would you like to start?
Well, the game that he has played has been
I mean, if we want to start the Kingdom Death hour
immediately
early.
Okay.
You can start if you want on the game that you know so well and you do so great at.
Okay. I got second in my other play. So, all right. So I received my Kickstarter copy of Darwin's Journey, finally, like 2 years after I backed it and like a year late from the estimated shipping date.
A normal
Kickstarter, especially a normal post-pandemic Kickstarter.
Yeah. Did you have to pay any extra shipping on
I did not, because they're not that garbage of a company, cough, Mythic Games, cough.
We didn't put them down for news, but
they continue to suck.
Don't back Mythic Games.
Yeah.
So I received Darwin's Journey, and so I think it was actually even the day I got it. We were going over to Paul's house for hot tubbing and fire pitting and everything. It was like supposed to snow in Denver.
And Italian beef sandwiches.
And so I was like, hey, do you want to, play early? And so we met up. Zach got off work. And me and Megan and Zach went over to Paul's, and we played before the shindig. So it was a learning game for everybody. I'd watched John Gets Games video on it. It was pretty good. I thought it did a good job of like running through all the different things you can do in a reasonable way.
If I have the time to devote to it, he usually is my go-to for if he has a view on it, because I feel like he does a good job of speaking to all the different points. So we set up and we played. I was randomly first player, which, considering I was the closest to knowing what the game was about and how to play, I should have done arguably the best first action, and I did not. And then the second place person did not do arguably the best action, and then Megan was like, holy shit. I realized this was like the best action from the get-go, and no one did it. I didn't think I'd get to do it on my turn. And that action is like one where you get to open up new actions. This is a worker placement game.
It's a worker placement game. Yeah. And so she did the new action that opens up a new spot, and then you get to immediately take that new spot as if you placed a person there, regardless of whether you meet the qualifications for that. So it's very powerful. Allows you to do some of the more powerful actions earlier in the game by taking it. So it's a worker placement game. There's a main worker placement board. You've got these workers, and throughout the game, they earn stamps that are like their qualifications, and different spots on the board have different stamp requirements to place a worker there. So you've got like 4 workers who can accrue stamps, or no, 3 that can accrue stamps. 1 worker who always has 1 wild stamp, and then you can unlock a 5th worker who has no stamps. And like some of the spaces, obviously, you can place somebody with no stamps. So part of the game engine is like trying to get more stamps for your people. Having different stamps also can unlock, like, there's little like achievement tiles that you can unlock that you slot into your board that give you like bonus actions. And then the actions you're taking are letting you move a different set of meeples that you have around the Galapagos Islands, collecting like animal specimens and setting up camps, and all of these things chain into other actions and money and points and all that kind of stuff. You also have a ship meeple that is sailing around the Galapagos, trying to keep up with Darwin and the HMS Beagle. And you've got some like stuff you're doing on your player board, trying to send like letters and correspondence back home, doing research at the museum, things like that.
Standard worker placement of your movement stuff, but then just a lot of other shit. Especially nowadays, it seems like very few games are just like the standard worker placement, and that's about it.
Yeah, place here, get resources from there. That's it. Like, so
there's a different species you can research, but then it's a race to turn those into the museum first, because whoever does it first gets money or books, which are like akin to points that you'll get. And then, so if both Adrian and I have the same one, if I get it first, then it's good if you research it for other things like points later, but in terms of like only one person gets to do it first.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, famous British colonialist era researching, you're just trying to get things stolen to throw in a museum in London as quick as possible.
Yeah.
So I felt like I was doing okay for the first couple turns. Like, I felt like I was competing, like a score was in a good spot. I felt like I had a path. And then I still don't know in that first game where I went wrong, but it rapidly became apparent that I was falling behind.
Yeah.
And so sure enough, and like I said it at one point, like fairly early, I was like, man, I feel like I'm really starting to fall behind. Well, and Paul was like, oh, is this the fastest Adrian bitch on record? And then Paul started making Italian sandwiches like halfway through, so he turned it over to Eric, who had missed the teach and had never played. And Eric ended up doubling my score.
Yeah.
And he only got 3rd place.
It was basically Megan and I who were, like, we were competing, and then you two were technically competing until the end, where it just did not, like, and your score, I think, was like 64 or something like that. And I was 181 and Megan was 182.
Yes. So you guys almost tripled my score.
Yeah. But not just that. It's just that we were, like, when we were competing, we were literally 1 point off of each other. So it was an interesting play. But I was definitely curious to see if you, like, to see how repeated plays of that game would go. Especially with, it does feel like it's something that if you, like, it's not kind to
people learning the game, especially if it was like 3 people that know the game and then 1 person that's just learning it.
Yeah.
Which we sort of felt on that second game we played.
Yeah, so we played a second game at game night the next Wednesday.
Which I was not expecting, but...
yeah.
Yeah.
I had wanted to, because I pretty much immediately wanted to like get some redemption. And I'm still trying to figure out if I like this game or not, and if I want to keep it. So we played it again Wednesday, and so it was me, Megan, Zach, and then we added Wes.
Kaiser.
And so...
Kaiser.
Yes. Yeah, not Wes.
Wes got there like 20 minutes too late,
right.
and then he just couldn't play any games. I think he played something.
He got to play a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah.
Kaiser, and so yeah, we definitely threw Kaiser to the fire a little bit. Like, all right, gave him kind of a quick rundown of a teach, and then we dove right in. I don't remember the final scores in that one. I know I got second.
You got second. You got a much better score. You got 150.
Mm-hmm.
Megan got a lot worse.
Mm-hmm.
She got like 110 or something like that. And then Kaiser ended up getting like 80 something or something like that.
Yeah, so he even did better than I did.
Yeah,
on my first game.
Yeah, it seems like the low bar is what Eric and Paul did, and it seems like Kaiser got about that.
Yes.
So,
I
got 184, so I was consistent on both of my plays.
Yep. So, Zach solved the game.
I just solved the game. Yeah. At this point, playing it a second time, I'm like, okay, I can sort of see what this game's doing. I'm curious to see what the not expansions but different modules add.
Yes.
And I think if I played this game again, I would need to see those to see if it fixes the game. 'Cause I can't necessarily pick out what my problems were with the game, unfortunately. Like it's sort of how like you described it, and you're like, I didn't feel like I was doing anything wrong, but you just did really bad in that first game. Yeah. And I'm just like, I can see all this stuff is doing is, but just something about it's just not clicking for me in that regard.
And that's kind of how it is for me. I think for me, there's almost too much going on. Like, I get the, like, there's been a few worker placement games I've played with that kind of like chaining action stuff where like you can take an action and it lets you like do this other thing and this other thing. And like that could be very satisfying, especially as you build up later in the game and like those chain bigger and bigger and bigger. And this has a lot of that, but I don't know. I think it just feels like there's almost too much going on. And then it is definitely one of those where the way money is tight in this game can be very punishing. If you don't get to like do the thing, and then like all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, I didn't get it. Like I've got 2 things I really need to do this turn. So like, which one do I do first when it's free? And then now the second one, somebody else went there, so now it costs extra money to go there, which means I can't afford it, which like throws a wrench in my plans. Yeah, and I don't know.
I think one part for me too is that, like you said, there's a lot going on, but like the books, so the scoring of the books is a little convoluted. It's based on the amount of like, so the research at the museum is a 4x4 grid of different animals, 4 colors and like 4 different symbols. And for every row of those that are completed at the end of the game, you multiply that plus 2 times the number of books that you have.
Yeah.
And so it, like in the last game we played, all 3 of you, me, and Megan all got to 13 times the books. So it would have, and we filled out that entire thing. So it was 6. So it was the full 4 rows plus 2. So 6 times 13, right? And so that's 78. And that's just
a lot.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of points. So I guess I'm not that big a fan of when there's a bunch of things you need to, like, a bunch of things you can do, but it's like, but you need to, like, you need to focus on this one amongst, like, of all other things, you still have to focus on this one.
Yeah. It's interesting. I feel like it's almost meant to be kind of a catch-up mechanism, too, the way, like, over time, going to the museum, you earn more and more books. Like, it starts off, like, if you're the very first person to go to the museum and drop off the first specimen, you just get a bunch of money. You don't get any books. But then, like, as you fill in more and more species, it transitions to where you're getting more and more books. So, like, people who are a little late to going over there get more points, but they get less money, but also money's really tight, so you kind of need money. I don't know. It's interesting, but, like, yeah, that's, like, a huge part of the game is making sure you do that. And because of the race nature of the 2 tracks, like just trying to race to get to the specimens, and there's other things that let you just sometimes like claim a specimen that you've not gotten to yet. So like you can have worked really hard to get ahead in the race, and then someone unlocks an ability that lets them just get one.
Yeah.
And they take one and then deliver it before you can. And it's like, oh, great. Well, all that effort I put into winning the race so that I could be first on the museum.
Yeah. Yeah, I think in that first game you were like half a round behind everybody in terms of things you wanted to do, so people kept doing what you wanted.
Yeah, I also I also really want to play with the draft for the starting cards because I think that'll make a big difference too.
Yeah, I didn't use any of the starting cards on my turn or this round. In the first game I did 1, I think.
Yeah.
So
they're definitely not important, but like one of the things that is important is the ones you choose determine what your like 3 starting stamps are.
The stamps, I think that's one of the drawbacks on this game too, of when you're putting the stamps refilling them every round. Both games we were like really hamstrung by one color,
just not coming out,
coming up. So,
so I don't know. Like looking over the modules, I'm not sure that any of the modules that are in there are going to fix anything.
Okay.
Like I feel like they're definitely just going to add more. And so I don't know. We'll see. Like there's one module that lets you upgrade one of your island explorers and lets you upgrade one of your ships, or lets you upgrade your ship. I think one of them, if you play on the alternate side of the board, there's like multiple ship tracks, so you can have like multiple ships.
Gotcha. I was wondering that. Yeah.
So we'll see. Next time I play, I'm definitely going to play the other side because that's that's one of the module / expansions, like fire something or other. And maybe it'll end up being like stockpile where like the complicated board, the advanced board is just the board you should always play, and like the module of like the dice is the best module. And maybe it'll be something like that. I don't know. We'll see. Overall, it's fine, but I was not super blown away by it. I'm leaving it at home, I think, for Cabin Con.
Yeah, I'm not playing it again there. I know, like I told you that. I was just like, I'm not playing it at Cabin Con.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think even Megan didn't really feel like playing it, and I don't think I want to. I don't know. I guess I could try to teach it to 3 new players and then just raffle stomp them as I know exactly how to chain everything, and they don't. And then I'll be like, ooh, I won. Woo. But
whatever you need to make yourself feel better, man.
I've got other games I want to get my ass kicked in. I can't wait to like get trounced by Chris Evans in Weather Machine. Or not Weather Machine, Horseless Carriage.
Horseless Carriage, yeah.
I'll probably also play some Weather Machine and get stomped in that too.
I'm not interested in that one, but I would probably try the Horseless Carriage, I think. I am bringing my the Viking game with the rolling dice and worker placement. Champions of Midgard.
Oh, okay.
Bringing that one.
It's been a while. I think I'd be willing to give that one another go.
Yeah.
I had wanted to learn Antiquity. I'd really wanted to get Antiquity in, but I did not learn Antiquity, and I don't think anybody else has, and it might be too late now. Maybe that's what I'll do tomorrow. I'll just learn Antiquity in a day. Yeah. That seems logical.
Just watch a heavy cardboard game of it. Those are what, 4 or 5 hours usually? Yeah.
So yeah. That was Darwin's Journey. Other than that, Megan and I continue to have JIME set up on the dining room table. Have had for like months now.
Are you in your second campaign?
We are in our so we have not started our third. So we finished our second.
Prematurely finished the second one, or did you restart that one?
So we had lost like over a month ago, and then we restarted and beat.
Okay.
So we did win the third one, and then we are about to start we'd won the second one, and then we're about our third campaign, but it was a replay of the second scenario. We're about to start the third scenario, and so we've still got a ways to go because I think we have 2 big box scenarios and then the 2 DLCs. So we've got 4 scenarios.
Yeah,
because
you've done base and then the base DLC.
Yeah,
and so now you have the big box DLC and then second big box
Correct.
DLC. Yeah.
So, I moved away from Legolas.
Good.
After the failed.
Yeah.
But already like looking at the characters, like some of them just don't look interesting. Like Megan's done a better job than I have about like playing. She's played 6 different characters now. I've only played 5 because I replayed Legolas. So like even when we lost, we were like, all right, 4 new characters. So we're trying to play through them all, but I don't know who I'm going to play for for any of the next ones?
I mean, I've pretty much the only one the one I've enjoyed the least was the bear guy. That's just because your bear weapons stay the same the entire campaign, so you come out sort of strong, but then you just stay that through the entire way, and so
it worked good playing him as one of the characters in the base.
Oh yeah.
DLC because it's a shorter. The DLCs are shorter campaigns, and so he didn't feel like he got as outclassed towards the end.
Yeah, no. The first time I played him was also when we were getting our level 4 shit. So, yeah.
One moment. So JIME's been good, and JIME continue to like it.
Okay.
I don't know when we'll start the third campaign.
We still have that one final campaign to do, but we still haven't carved any time out for it yet.
Paul's busy playing 3 different.
I think
2 Frost Havens and a Crimson Scales.
I think they're just about done with the Crimson Scales, and that's allowing them to do the second Frost Haven.
I see.
Yeah, and he has Arkham too.
And it's Arkham. Yes. LCG. Just really playing Arkham Horror 3rd Edition every week.
Yep. So it sounds like it's time to go on to Kingdom of Death.
Someone else is going to talk
now.
Yep.
So I am done. That is all I have played.
I did forget about a game that I did play that wasn't Kingdom Death though.
What was that?
That was Dune Imperium.
Oh, that's right.
Before my birthday shenanigans.
Yep.
Aunt and Julie took me up to Thane's Table.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the birthday shenanigans. I was working. I wanted to come to that dinner.
Yeah, that's fine. Anyways.
Thane's Table.
Thane's Table. First time I'd been there, it was a board game bar.
Are they closing? Or is that a different thing that's closing? Is that the one in Westminster?
There is one in Westminster, yes. But I don't think they are closing. No. They have already done the traditional please help save Thane's Table posts.
I thought they were closing as well.
I think they've been borderline closing since they opened. Mostly because they had to purchase some absurd $40,000 grease trap for their pizzas in oven that they had because they were a restaurant in Westminster and they were mandated to have this absurd grease trap system.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was super cool. It is decorated very well. I enjoyed it a lot. The bartender was not great. I had 2 drinks and they were both kind of well, you've poured these materials over ice, but yet my drink seems somewhat warm. I should have gone with beer.
It's because they were storing the booze in the grease trap.
Besides that, we played Dune Imperium with both expansions.
Was it your first time with Immortality?
It was the first time with Immortality and probably my 3rd time with Rise of Ix.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Ix, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Aunt Julie played.
Had they played before?
They had played before.
Okay.
I don't know if they've played with Immortality before because we were just integrating the cards and stuff. So,
gotcha.
Immortality adds a new track, which also adds kind of a new reputation almost. And then a separate track that you can kind of choose direction on, and you get certain rewards for certain directions you go.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you get farther in on that track, it can actually activate certain powers on cards you buy, depending on how far in that track you got. So there's this genetic marker trait that if you get past the certain level, you start getting extra bonuses.
Gotcha.
Which is cool. There's a new resource where the Rise of Ix, you could go to a certain space and take a troop and put them there, and you could use that later to make give yourself a discount on one of those technology tiles. And in this, there's these green cubes. It's genetic material. You're using your troops to put into this genetic material pile. There is now a second track to be able to purchase cards from that are just these Immortality cards.
Mm-hmm.
And you actually can't use your persuasion, influence, blue number purchasey power to buy these cards. You have to use those genetic material cubes to purchase them.
Gotcha.
And there's only 2 of them available anytime, and then there's a passive one for 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then depending on where you go on that track, you can get more of those cubes, and if you buy certain one of those cards, they get you more of those cubes, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked that as I had just sort of perused lightly through that expansion, I was just assuming all of those fucking cards were going to go into the deck.
Yeah.
It's nice that there's only 30 cards that go into the base Imperium deck, and the rest are their own separate pile.
Oh,
So,
gotcha.
And,
Okay.
and the stuff that's in its own separate pile is majority unique to the expansion, and the other 30 are generally just kind of general cards that can be used without the expansion.
Okay, that's
so
good.
that is nice.
Yeah. Okay. Would you play without it, or do you feel it was worth adding in there?
It was definitely worth adding.
Okay.
I liked what it added. I would definitely play with both expansions, mostly because I was worried that it would dilute the Imperium row so much, but it does not. It
That's
just
good.
kind of adds more, but not like absurd more.
Mm-hmm.
It does add another mechanic where everyone gets a single-use token, so where they can wipe the Imperium board once per game with that token and get 6 new cards drawn.
More games need that.
Yes. Besides that, it was a pretty straightforward game. I went kind of like heavy tech. I wish I would have gotten the fucking victory point card, intrigue card or whatever to like have like 5 or more X technologies, because I had like 5 of them. I had one that gave me 2 money at the beginning of every round. The one that Paul had where he just fucking annihilated all of us, where it was like give +1 sword to all cards you reveal during the reveal phase that had swords on them. And then just some other kind of passive ones. Ended up doing pretty well that whole game. We did start kind of like a fast game. We all start at 3 players. We all started at 1 point, which normally you would at like 4 players, but we wanted just like a slightly quicker game because we were on a timetable that I was unaware of or uninformed of.
Yeah.
And so
they're like, Jeff, come on, take your turn. Like,
yeah,
why?
we got to be somewhere at 4 o'clock. And I was like, what do we have to do at fucking 4 o'clock? And ended up winning at the end. I got like 3+ victory points on like the final round, and got hit 10. It was like 10, 7, 7, something like that. I'm sure if we had gone one more round, it probably would have evened out a little more, but
you didn't.
But we didn't, and I won.
There you go.
Dune Imperium with the immortality. Didn't do much on that board, but it was interesting. I got the Worm Riders and that tech card that gives you the +1, and I was getting like 8 power off like one card, because I think it's like +2, and then if you have like Fremen Alliance, you get like another 4, and then I was getting +1 just with that tech. So it went okay. Oh, and I got both Dreadnoughts. It was the first time I'd ever gone Dreadnoughts before. They're useful, but one thing that we did not play with Dreadnoughts last time we played, Dreadnoughts, if you win combat with them, have to take control of a control point.
Okay.
You do not have one of your Dreadnoughts for the next round.
Oh.
They are mandatory to take over one of the like control areas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So you can't use them every round for 3 power.
That's
they
good.
will be doing control things at least once. So people that had both of them for the whole game may not have had those. What I'm saying is asterisk.
Right. Hey, look, you know what? What game doesn't have an asterisk?
Yeah. And then we played Kingdom Death Monster.
Yes, we did.
And
that's the least excited I've ever heard you about Kingdom Death Monster, Zach. Like, yes, we did.
well, we are kind of overpowered at this point.
Yeah.
We're in our People of the Skull of the Stars, and we're starting to get constellations on people. And we're having certain combos with certain hunt events that is just making like auto win. Eric had ended up getting into this scenario in the hunt table where like everyone has to be quiet and roll on a table. If they roll a 1, they die. If they roll a 10, they get +1 luck permanently. And he has this special ability called Otherworldly Luck, where they always get a +1 on all of their table rolls, which means the minimum they can roll is 2. So technically, they could just roll infinitely and automatically get the +1 luck.
Yep.
And we came across that twice in 2 hunts, which is a 1 in 100 chance.
Yeah.
So he just kind of has like an absurd amount of crit.
Yep.
Even though we had been, I think we talked about this last time, been playing crit incorrectly the entire time we've been playing Kingdom Death Monster.
It's like
amazing.
You can't crit a card that does not have a crit on it. Before, we were critting that card and canceling all reactions, which would what normally would happen on a card with crit. But if the card does not have crit and just has wound or reflex or whatever, it just does that. Even though you crit, you're not canceling reactions with crit.
Yeah.
You're just auto-wounding on crit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Unless it says crit, and then you actually negate everything else and just do the crit action.
Gotcha.
So it's been years of us not playing that correctly. But
Fantastic.
thankfully, crit in our other campaigns is rare enough to where it hasn't been like absurd. But it is certainly different and more accurately played now.
Yeah. I mean, ours, like we are very much glass cannons, but we are 12 years into 14. No, I think we're we're at 15 now. Somewhere like 13 to 15 years into that game. Our main characters, like I just hit age 10 or 11 XP, so I hit my age. What is it?
What's the name of your character?
It's a purple one. Bonathan.
Bonathan?
Yeah.
Bonathan.
Is XP 11.
Yep.
So, yeah.
But like
It's going to delete your survivor.
you son of a bitch. But like I have grand weapons, and so
Nice, Wes. Nice.
yeah. I have with grand weapons, if I crit, which it's very easy to crit with these characters.
keep in mind, a grand weapon is like Cloud Final Fantasy VII sword.
Yep.
It's like giant, crazy anime sword.
Yes.
Is your insanity ever going to get under the 20s?
No, I have 29 insanity. It's yeah. But if I crit with this weapon, the monster's immediately knocked down. But I only hit with one of the die. It only rolls one die no matter how many.
It's slow.
It's slow, but it's basically I just run up, I hit it, knock it down. Everybody else just beats the absolute shit out of it until somebody
Gets the trap. Yeah.
And then it pops up, it does its turn, and we're basically like, all right, can we survive? I'll go over there, hit it, knock it down again, and then everybody else just fucking swarms it until they get a trap or we kill it.
I'm getting soon, hopefully, I think I've got 2 more. And then I get Fist and Tooth Mastery,
Nice.
which will let us all stand up at the end of every round instead of just the end of the round after you got knocked down.
Yeah. I'm expecting. I
don't remember what the actual mastery does for Fist and Tooth.
I don't remember.
There's
either.
literally no way to know.
No way to know. So it's fun, but I'm also very much looking forward to after this going back to a regular campaign because we miss out on like 80% of the gear in this because we can only wear stuff that has bone on it. And that's usually a helmet and then like a cloak that we have. Otherwise, we're naked. So
Fist and Tooth Mastery is a permanent +2 accuracy and +2 strength, even if you are not attacking with Fist and Tooth.
Okay. Well, all right then.
So in otherwise in the Kingdom Death, we finally got our fucking Song of the Brave. So there's Gorm and Gorm Climate, and if you roll like a 1 to 4 in Gorm Climate, we have to destroy an innovation, which is one of our technologies, or lose every resource we have. And we've rolled that, I don't know, 5 or 6 times during this campaign, a third of the time. So we've lost an absurd amount of innovations during this campaign. And we finally got Song of the Brave, went and killed a Gorm, and now we don't have to deal with the fucking Gorm Climate destroying our shit every turn.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's really annoying.
It was really annoying. But we did get like a lot of really crazy innovations. So we have like Empire that gives like all of our newborn survivors strength and pristine, which means like if they ever take like a dismembered arm or leg, they just don't.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, our characters now babies are fucking strong as hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
our babies are nice. We got some nice babies.
Gross.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Been doing some Dung Beetle Night. I keep getting shoved in the dung ball over and over. That's fun. And then I come out of the dung ball and like it's called dung milk. It just means you like throw up, but it like does damage to your chest. And I took fucking 2 blasts to the chest and then came out and threw up and took a severe to the chest.
Jesus.
Yeah.
From throwing up so hard. Thankfully it was nothing, but
You just bled a lot from it.
yeah, a lot of bleeding.
It was funny. We had to fight a level 2. So the Butcher is a nemesis, but he's like a level 1. Like he's like a real, like the easiest nemesis to fight. So we fought a level 2 of it, and we just kicked the absolute living shit out of him.
Yeah, it was like, all right, 2nd round. Yeah, you're dead.
Yeah, he was like, every attack was just like, oh, he's hitting on
Oh,
like
it was going for me.
Yeah.
And it was like, do you want to dodge? I was like, no. It was like, buh, he missed. I was like, all right, because he draws 3 times. He went after me with all 3 of his AI cards. Literally did nothing.
Yeah, because our evasion's so high that it's like you gotta hit on 9s or 10s.
And I was like, okay, cool. He's like, all right, he does 2 damage to your chest. All right, I reduced that to 1. Cool. Again.
Yeah. And it was like, oh, right, this is what it's like to fight a normal character.
Yeah.
Because we fought a level 2 dung beetle knight, and that kicked the shit out of us. I mean, we beat him, but it fucking hurt. And then I know we need to do a level 2 dragon at some point, and that's gonna.
Yeah,
it
was mostly because we were taking monster level damage.
Yeah.
Or monster level attacks, which is not great for us with mostly no armor. It's really the traps that will absolutely murder us.
We are good at avoiding damage that they actually attack us with, but AoE shit just destroys us.
Yeah,
especially
passive.
the Gorm. He has a vomit that bypasses any armor you have.
Yeah.
And it's monster level 2. So if you fight, and so if you have no armor, there's a light damage, heavy damage, and then severe.
Okay.
Or so light injury, heavy injury, and then severe injury. The level 3 Gorm, if he hits you with it, does 3 monster level damage. So if he hits you with anything, it's immediately severe.
Yes.
And that you have a 20% chance of death.
A 1 or a 2.
Yeah.
And then a 1, 2, 3, or 4 to the head will kill you.
So
yes,
those things can be rough. That's why we don't fight them at level 3, because fuck them.
Yeah, and you have to you have to use someone to like lure it, and then they're like inside it the entire time you're on the hunt. So you're actually short a person during the hunt because you're tracking the thing that ate your friend to lure it, to get it lured back to its base. And then you have to go through the caves. And then there's like a 20% chance of like awful severe injuries just going through the caves. Or you get a bunch of legendary lungs fucking characters.
Ooh, legendary lungs is nice.
What is legendary lungs again?
I forget, but my character has it and it's nice.
It was Bonathan. Is that right?
The reason his name's Bonathan is that in the people of the bone, people of the skull, you have to have the name skull or bone in your name in order to get a benefit.
Yes. Is it Bonathan? Does not have legendary lungs.
Oh, no, it's the other one. Bubona.
Yes, Bubona. Once per attack, after each successful hit, make an additional attack roll. So with your 1 attack you make, if you make it successfully, you can do your 1 attack again.
Yeah, it just doubles my damage output right there.
This other person also 14 insanity.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah,
Zach's crazy.
Yeah,
what
I want is immortal, which is a disorder in there that if you take damage instead of going to your armor, it goes to your
sanity.
Your insanity instead. But there is some drawback to it, but I forget. But yeah,
I think you can't use survival while you're immortal.
But it's fun.
Yeah,
it's a fun game.
Yep,
nice.
I have Thundercaller. We can just do Thundercaller one time if we want. That lets you auto roll the hunt event number 100, and that lets you get like this crazy hammer
that we can't use. And
I think it's cursed, and you have to have it in your gear grid.
Yeah,
but Ant got it once on one of our very first campaigns, and one of the very first times we're like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Because it was really good, but every time you rolled a 10, everyone went like deaf for a round or something. I don't remember. It was so loud that it would just make non-deaf survivors like take damage.
Yeah. Well, there's a mace in here too that if you roll 1s, you hit yourself with it and you take damage.
Yeah, a whistling mace.
Christ.
But it has a chance at like extra attacks or something like that. And then like the best mace that we could actually make, we can't use because it's not bone.
Yeah.
So.
Once again, looking forward to not being bone so that we can use those characters or use the armor and
use
stuff.
Items and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm just fist and tooth, so I'm doing great. And I don't hit on 2s, unlike some people, but I still get all the traps.
Yep. All right. That's
Cool.
all I got.
Yep.
Right on. Then I think that's it for what we've been playing.
Yeah. Got Banter.
We got Cabin Con this
do.
week, so we're recording on Monday, and then Wednesday we check into the cabins up in Winter Park. 30 some people this year.
30, I
30.
think. It's
30 exactly.
Yeah.
30 people. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. So 4 nights, 5 days.
Yep. Barely.
Got some
4 p.m. check-in Wednesday, 10 a.m. check-out Sunday.
yeah.
Well, it's one reason why we extended an extra day, because you really were like, oh, we're really only doing stuff Friday and Saturday, that first one. So
Yeah.
definitely need that extra day to actually do shit.
Yes.
Especially if you're doing Twilight Imperium for one of those days.
Yeah. Even
Or-
though I do have to say TI4 is actually much shorter than TI3 ever was.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or if you're like Wes and his crew and you're doing some weird Arkham Horror thing where you are playing like 4 games in 5 days.
Yep.
Or
Good luck
5
with that.
games in 4 days.
No, it's 4
or-
games. It's they're doing a campaign, but it's like 2 groups, and they're like going into different. So they each play a game 1, and then they're doing different things. Then they come together and make decisions, and then go do group game 2, come back game 3,
Yeah.
come back game 4. So
I think they're going to try, at least the Wes's half of the group are going to try to play Wednesday before going up, like here in Denver, and then go up. And
that'd be good. Yeah.
yeah, because like Wes is carpooling with Megan and I, but Megan and I have a bunch of shit we got to do in Denver on Wednesday before we leave. Prenup signings,
No.
the post-nump prenup.
I am picking up people at noon, so we're gonna go there and then get something to eat, I think, and then head up, maybe go to brewery. So
Yeah, let me know where you guys go eat or what you do in Denver, because I don't think we have anything at noon. I'm not sure when our Megan's home from work.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when our prenup signing is. I gotta message the fucking attorneys. God, I hate attorneys. Chris Evans, I'm never gonna look at you the same ever again after I've actually had to deal with attorneys in real life.
They charged my sister $1,000 to send me a letter.
Dude, they charge so much, and they like so my attorney that I got bills like $300 an hour for work she does, and like she bills in like 5-minute increments, and so like she'll send an email and then like there'll be a line item in the invoice for that month of like 5-minute email. It's like, you motherfucker. One, you didn't spend 5 minutes on that email. It was 4 words. You son of a bitch. She's really nice, and I feel like is doing a good job, so I'm not super upset about the amount of money that I am hemorrhaging to an attorney.
just
but
what, $5 a minute?
something like that. Yeah.
$25 for any.
Yeah, man, it's wild. It'll be nice at the end of this though, because she has like a $1,500 like not a retainer, but kind of like that. Like I had to prepay $1,500, and like each month they deduct whatever the month's bill is, and then they charge me to re-up to $1,500. So when this is all said and done and everything's finally complete, she's gonna just send me $1,500 back.
Right.
So that's gonna be a real nice day. I'll be like, oh shit, I just have a random $1,500. Yeah, I mean, Wes is right. It's 100% Megan. She's got a decent amount of like investment money from when she was a kid and nearly had her eye destroyed. Well, had her eye partially destroyed. Although it's ironic. So like we started doing all of this, and then now I make like 6 figures. So I actually like have like assets and like things that I'm happy we have this legal document in place that is like, I don't got to pay you support if you leave me.
Good to know.
So it works out. We'll probably never need it, but makes people feel warm and fuzzy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a lot else banter.
I have started playing the new Jedi Survivor game on the PS5.
Okay.
Jeff got it on the PC and played it for 5 minutes.
I subscribed to the EA Pro thing. It's like $15 a month, but they have their like day one release games on there. So I spent $15 for a month to be able to beat it, but it runs like hot fucking steaming shit on my 4080.
Jesus.
It's got a pretty budget card, so it's understandable.
Yeah, I should have gone for the 4090 to get maybe 30 frames per second.
Yeah. Now they are releasing a performance patch this week, I think, that should help with it. But I will say, even on my PS5, the performance mode, I'm like playing it sometimes, and I'm like, because performance mode is like striving to hit 60 frames per second over like super fancy graphics.
Yeah.
On the PS5, right? This one is struggling at some parts, especially when it opens up into like more like one of the bigger areas. You're like chugging along, and you're like, this is probably maybe even 30. 35.
It seems like a lot of the issues on PC. So, when you start games and it's like pre-caching shaders in the PC version, it seems like that pre-caching of shaders isn't actually doing anything and will only cache those shaders when they happen, which makes a stutter happen every time a new shader happens.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Yeah. So it goes down to like 10, 15 frames like every time it's gotta like, it won't do it again ever. But in like a cutscene that you're never going to see again, like, cool. The next time I see that cutscene, I'll never get that drop in frames.
Yeah.
My brain is melted goo from Night Shift. What game? You said it. And
Jedi Survivor.
Okay.
Yes.
So the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order.
Yes. Okay.
But I'm definitely glad for the performance patch, but I'm still able to play it, and it's been a lot of fun. I liked the first game. This one still, like, I play on like hard, so I don't play like the hard, like the whatever they
very
call it,
hard.
very hard.
Yeah.
But I do play on hard, and so like I just fought a Rancor, and that was very challenging to fucking, because that thing was just like it had multiple moves that were like, if it grabbed me, it would just eat me, and I would just die immediately. And then
Do
a
what
lot
Luke
of
did.
Yeah.
Put the bone in the mouth.
Well, there were, what's funny is that there was a bone on the ground, but I could not grab it. So, but there are multiple of its like giant swipes that if it hit you, if your health was like not super tip top, it could just one shot you. So, but it was, I was able to beat it, but that definitely took a while. I every so often I'll try like Dark Souls games, and I just don't click with them.
I've bounced off all of them except Sekiro.
Yeah. And this one I'm like, it's Dark Souls enough for me that I'm still enjoying it.
See, I bounced off the first Jedi,
Yeah.
one of those, because, it was way too hard. I kicked it down to like the easiest difficulty and was still getting raffle stomped. I was like, this is just not fun. Stupid sticky tongue frog creature thing.
Motherfucker. So this one, in the first game, you had either single lightsaber or double-sided, and then you also had like one move at the end that was double lightsabers.
Dual wielding?
Yeah, dual wielding. This one, you have all three of those basically from the beginning. And then you get a gun. You get a blaster along with your saber, which is nice because I like to just force pull people to my face and then shoot them in said face.
It's like Pokemon. Gun, I choose you.
Exactly. And then you also get the crossguard, which is basically Kylo Ren's sword that is slow, but it hits like a fucking truck. Which is nice. I like that one a lot. But it's got a fucking wind up. You're just like, you got to be able to be like, all right, don't fucking hit me for the next like second and a half while I swing this fucking sword. But a lot of games like that, I tend to go for like those heavier, like what was it called? Chivalry, Medieval Warfare. Did you ever play that?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Or maybe an older version of something similar.
That was that one I always got like the big fucking hammer, and you swung that thing and it did a shitload of damage, but it took a fucking while to hit.
I think Thursby played a lot of Chivalry.
Yeah.
Chivalry 2, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Once I read that it's just full of a bunch of racists, I didn't really play it.
That
understandable.
tracks.
Yeah. But Jedi, it's good. They have increased the scope of the story and all the shit you can do in that game by a lot, which is cool.
Okay.
I look forward to playing it at a reasonable frame rate. Now that I care about frame rates, because I have this fucking monster computer.
Sure. I knew you were going to be a snob, Jeff.
Yeah, immediately.
You've changed.
You've changed.
Having that video card for like 6 years,
yeah,
I think I deserve to be a little bit of a snob for just a little bit.
Sure.
I put in a lot of effort to try and buy one of those cards 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Not enough, apparently.
Fuck everything about trying to buy a video
that was
card.
Garbage time.
You easily could have bought it for, 500 plus.
The price I got mine for now.
Yeah. Tracks. I think the last time I recorded, I was still like gushing about Returnal. I have then hit the wall and bounced off of it. It was
you quit again?
I have not played. I haven't played in like over a week.
You quit again, is what you're saying.
Well, I don't know about again.
We quit the first time, and then you went back.
Well, I had like a day where I rage quit, like
I see.
at the beginning of a day, but yeah, I immediately went back for that one. Yeah, no, it's that fucking. There's some big monster in the deep in general. I just get housed. And
I mean, it's the hard. Yeah, the deep. Is it? So I remember it's. I mean, it's just guy with. It's like a. It looks like a octopus tentacle guy. That's like a mini boss, and that guy fucking raffles on me for the longest time. Is it him?
I think so. It's some dude who shoots these like so there's like small red seekers, and those are easy to dodge.
Yeah.
Like a lot of things shoot those.
Yes.
This guy shoots these big, huge fucking red seekers that weirdly are harder to dodge, and if you don't dodge them, you just die.
So I'll tell you the thing that I found that was the easiest, like the best way to beat that game I found was I don't remember what gun it is, but it's like it's a long gun that has like 120 bullets in it.
Yes.
But one of its perks that you can unlock is like portal guns.
Yes.
That one is
great.
That one is
my favorite gun.
Yes, and that is the easy, like that's the best way to beat the game when you're first trying to beat the game, I have found.
Yes.
So,
because you shoot it a few times, open up a bunch of portals, and then you just dodge and let your portals do work.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Good.
Yeah. So I bounced off of that, and so then I had gotten what happened to my?
It's fine on mine.
Mine went all wonky. Whatever. So then I downloaded Forbidden West, played it a little bit. I don't like the new skill system at all.
Okay.
And I kind of
ignore it. That's what I did.
Okay.
Like the thing where you use your like one-time chargeable power-up thing.
Like all of
I literally
never
used it. Just put skills in things that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
None of this matters.
So I kind of like it just wasn't sucking me in. I never like I know I will at some point.
Did you make it to the west yet?
No.
Okay.
I'm in like the Grand Canyon area, like the big canyon.
You're in the starter zone.
You're in the starter zone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why, like, because I loved the first one, and then for some reason this one just.
To be fair, I haven't beat this one yet. I haven't beat it yet either. But I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff out there. You can go out towards Las Vegas.
Yeah,
like that area is really neat.
Feel like I don't know, the combat feels different. I mean, it might just be I've played a bunch of different games.
Yeah,
like especially going from Returnal into that, like
exactly,
really fast paced, crazy combat to like this is a little bit more slower, methodical stuff. Point being, I bought that and then immediately switched back over to the Xbox season pass thingy, Game Pass, and beat Gears 1 and 2, and I'm starting Gears 3. I played Gears 1 way back, but like had never really like beaten it, I don't think, and had
great co-op games.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
No,
that's how I played most of those.
I don't think anyone plays it anymore, so I'm just running around by myself.
They did do some remakes, I think.
Yeah, so Gears 1 was a like Ultimate Edition on Game Pass. Gears 2 was not, so it was weird. Like Gears 1 was like
looked fantastic,
looked great, and then it was like a giant step down for Gears 2.
Yeah,
and then like I'm about to start Gears 3, and I was talking to one of my coworkers who was like, oh yeah, Gears was amazing. He's like, except 3 and 4.
5 was somewhat recently, right?
Yes.
5 is
so
the new
3.
one.
3 was the end of like that original story. Then there's a big time jump to 4. That one is 3 was good. 5 is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where I am. Like I was even joking with Megan. I was like, because I downloaded 3 and she was sitting there and I was like, yeah, look, see how it says like the thrilling conclusion. I was like, and then 4, 5 tactics, like whatever else. There's like 5 other ones.
Was it Judgment?
Yeah,
I think?
Judgment.
Yeah.
Gears Judgment, Gears Tactics, Gears 4,
Judgment
Gears
was
5.
not good.
Was Tactics good? Or is it like a tactics game?
Yeah, it's fun.
So that's one of the things I'm fucking around with. Although my my Xbox controller, the right bumper has started to die, which apparently is a common thing with the Xbox Elite controllers.
Bummer.
And yeah, since you do the reload and active reload with that bumper, that's not great. So
one of the buttons on my new mouse died already too, but I got the extended warranty on that sucker, so I just got to bring it in there and be like, new mouse, please, which is nice.
Cool. I don't think I have anything else bantery related.
I picked up the DLC Forbidden West. I only played an hour or so.
Okay.
It seems like it's more, and I got killed by a slaughter spine or something, and I was like, I'll come back to this later. I don't remember how to fight these.
Yeah. I bought Gran Turismo 7 was on sale, so I bought it because I got VR. the VR set, and I want to try that in VR.
You got the PSVR?
Yeah,
PSVR 2.
Yeah,
How is it?
it's good. I've played the Horizon game is good. That one was fun. And
Call of the Mountain.
Call of the Mountain, yeah. They have a like little ride thing. You can just be like, you sit in a thing and someone paddles you basically, and then you have all the different animals.
Oh, it's robots.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just to like, if you want to just be like, here, look at it, you can do it. There were one or two times when I was climbing that like you got up and thing and you just look around and you're like, God damn, this looks real pretty. And one fun thing it has is you eventually get like ice pick sort of things, and you have to be like. You have to actually have you can't just be like, all right, I'm just gonna set it here. You have to actually like swing it with some force that it goes into the thing. So occasionally you're just like, fucking, oh god damn it, I fucking hate climbing. This sucks. And the game's like 80% climbing. But
And you're moving your arms a lot.
You're moving your arms a lot. And then like one time you don't get it right and you're just fucking, god damn it, get on there.
Amazing.
Yeah. But it is fun. There are some other games I want to get on it, but I just haven't done it yet. But it works well with glasses. So
That's good.
yeah.
I've been playing a lot of Hunt Showdown now that Thursby is thoroughly addicted.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Him and his friend Steve. Been doing trios and duos. Thursby was hard on like 3v2s for a long time, so we'd go in as twos with teams of 3 allowed. Once we got our MMR high enough, and he was like, I don't want to play against 3s anymore. The MMR was low, and I was like, yeah, this is really easy, isn't it? Huh? Uh-huh. Yeah. And then we hit like 4 MMR, and he's like, uh-oh. Normally skilled people. But there was a new patch that added like a month-long quest line that you could do over like 6 acts that all had different challenges and stuff.
Okay.
That just ended yesterday, but we got it right at I got it right at the finish line. And then the new quest line starts soon, I think. And then they'll have a new patch that's adding some stuff. Possibly a open world boss, which could be interesting because all the bosses before have always been like in certain rooms and stuff in various compounds. World of Warcraft patch is around the corner.
Oh, God.
New zone.
I saw your picture in Slack of all your World of Warcraft stuff.
My collector's editions from all the way to Classic to Dragonflight, as well as all 3 StarCraft 2 collector's editions, and then not shown the Diablo 3 and Diablo 3 expansion collector's edition.
There you go.
Yeah.
I have one.
Just give
one
Blizzard
of the
your wallet.
edition.
I've been doing it for like 19 years, so
Yep.
spend 100 and they used to be cheaper. It was like $80 for the collector's edition. Now they're like 120.
Yeah,
every 3 years or whatever.
Sure.
I just buy the digital ones because
the digital deluxe just has everything except the physical stuff.
Yeah.
So, but I have also that. But you can't do that for like the early ones.
No.
There's no way to get the original collector's edition classic pets, which was a Zergling, Diablo, and Panda. Those were attached to the actual like collector's edition and have not been released since.
Yep.
Sure.
If I could sell those, they would sell for a lot.
Yeah.
Pizza guy. Woo.
Yeah, I think. And it was my birthday, and we went to Urban Putt, and I won. And then we went to.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that one. That was the first time I went to that place, and it was fucking busy.
It was very busy. Yes.
Yeah. And
it's an indoor mini golf spot.
Yeah.
In Denver.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
It's
they had some cool stuff, but they also
it's like 2 9-hole indoor mini golfs.
Yeah, we've been talking about doing a team building event there for work.
It's a lot of waiting for the people in front of you.
Great.
And a lot of like bottlenecks of like longer courses that have like special effects and stuff that you have to wait to finish.
Yeah.
Before you can keep moving on.
One of them is Red Rocks, and you like if you hit it in the center, a fucking 20 or 30 foot fucking lift that goes up.
Takes your ball up while it plays like
8-bit music.
Yeah.
And
like
then
Contra music.
And then it goes all the way down.
Yeah.
But it takes like 30 seconds for the ball to go up and all like and
yes.
There were, a shitload of people in front of us, so we're just in that area there's like 4 holes worth of stuff. And that's a bottleneck, and there's also a digital hole that you play too. That was also a bottleneck. So it was interesting, but I don't know if I'd go back again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
It was fun.
I just prefer
Yeah,
more mini golf other places, I guess. But,
that's fair.
Yeah, a little over-engineered, like you said.
Yes, for sure. But then we went to a 7-course meal at Good Zur.
Yeah, I'm real jealous about that.
Which is like a sour bottle shop charcuterie mainly for like the main dining area. But I guess they have sandwiches. But we had a special chef's table that Aunt had got us
Yeah.
for a 7-course meal, all with wine and/or beer pairings.
Yep.
And we did.
Real
Everybody
fucking jealous.
Everybody
He
except
invited
for
me and fucking
Yeah.
was like, shit, I work and I'm like desperately low on PTO.
yeah. There were 6 of us, and then there were 2 people at the end.
Who I think knew the chef or something.
Yeah.
Because I think, or had worked with him or something.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
And it was like one of his last chef tastings before he was going off somewhere. I forget.
He was going to open up his own spot to try and aim for a Michelin star.
Yeah.
Like,
In Denver?
No.
I don't know.
Oh, I was
As
going to
far-
say, like, goddamn, it'd be nice if Denver
No,
got a
I think
Michelin star for
it's
once.
like there's only like 3 places in the U.S. where you can't even get them,
It's like Chicago, L.A. or
and then California.
York.
There's California, New York, and Chicago.
yeah. So one of those 3.
Yeah, but like you have to be in those areas to be eligible for it, I guess.
Which is dumb because, like, some of the places, like, in Europe that have them are in tiny little nothing towns.
That's not the U.S. So
Yeah, that is specifically.
Well, it's also funny because, like, the Michelin star thing was created by the Michelin Tire Company
Yeah.
to encourage people to drive and shit. So why don't they stick them in the middle of goddamn nowhere, U.S.? Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
yeah,
No, probably not.
Anyway.
It was very tasty.
it was. There was a couple. There was one or 2 things that were a little, but there was really good stuff.
The cucumber yogurt soup
Yeah,
with roe. It was very tart.
yeah.
Okay.
Paul loved it and said it was one of the best things he's ever eaten. I really, really enjoyed it, but it was a lot.
Sure.
I enjoyed it. I didn't like the roe in it though, especially because I didn't like once you open them up, it was like the fish. Okay,
The squirting.
The squirting. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that one, but the other ones I did. And the sauce for the oxtail, we had the beurre blanc, and then also
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember what he called it, but it was like normally it would be like 1-for-1 potato and butter.
So there's a very famous chef that does a 1-to-1 butter to potato recipe.
But this was with a carrot.
It was
instead of-
carrots, 1-to-1 carrot to butter.
and it was fucking amazing.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was very good.
It was the smoothest tasting thing I've ever had.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was very good.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Sons of bitches.
So
Also, happy belated birthday then.
Yes, thank you.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Any other bantery things from you guys?
no,
Trained a guy today. Seems pretty all right. I'm going to get 2 days with him, and then it's like, see ya. I'm on vacation.
Peace, bitch.
that's left.
But we have the most people in the department that we've ever had. So that's nice.
Wow.
That's good.
We had 4. Last summer, we had 2.
I
It
had
was me and one other guy.
yeah. That's
After we fired the racist. Supposed to have 3.
Rightfully.
probably a good move.
Yeah.
I support firing racists.
Yes.
Mhm.
But we're also going to be going 24 hours, 5 days a week. I will not be doing that. But at least 3
Think
other
of
people
all the
will.
overtime you'd have, Jeff,
think
before
of
you
all-
died.
Great.
Hey, we could be on the same schedule, Jeff.
Well, we'll have a third shift, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m.
See, perfect. You'll get off an hour before I do, and so that'll give you time to get back down to Denver to meet me for breakfast.
Perfect.
All right. Well, then, let's move on to some crowdfunding. There's no news this week.
I've decided to add news.
Oh, you have?
I have.
What news?
They announced a new edition of Warhammer 40,000, specifically 10th edition, that they
Okay.
showed off this last Saturday. It looks really good. There's going to be a new box set. They're simplifying everything. The missions are going to be a lot simpler. You can sort of just you need a leader, and then you can just take units. You don't have to, like, fit into some weird, like, detachment. There is actually a Warhammer 30,000 before you make Warhammer 50,000 jokes. It's called Warhammer Horus Heresy. 30K, they call it. So you can just kind of take stuff. They're going to add a new format where they sell like these combat patrol boxes, and there's going to be a format that you can just play. You pick up the box, and you can play against anyone else that has those combat patrols. They're all going to be like balanced against each other. So you have like a easy starter set to buy
Okay.
and play with. 10th edition will negate all 9th edition rules.
As per usual.
Not always.
Oh, really?
No, 8th and 9th were compatible.
Oh, okay.
But for the first time ever, Games Workshop will be releasing all of the rules for free online.
Damn.
You can just, as soon as 10th edition comes out, every single army will have their own 10th edition rules that you can just grab online, or you can buy like an inexpensive just like book that they will send you if you want like a physical version.
Neat.
And then they will come out with codices and stuff later, but that's just adding like a fancy physical edition. It's not adding any additional rules or whatever that you can only get if you own that book, because you already have access to all of those online for free.
What happened to Games Workshop?
Where everyone else started getting more popular because they did all of these popular things, and then they're like, hey, we're losing. Maybe we should do these things. Also, they made a bad edition that they needed to fix a lot, and they needed to kind of redo a lot of stuff. And they're like, all right, well, this is the way we have to do this, I guess, because if we can't keep going the direction we're going, and we could piss everyone off like we used to, but we're significantly more popular now, so we'd be pissing off a lot more people that had just picked up the game within the last couple editions, and then would go away forever. So This is definitely the like, please continue with us. Here's like free things.
Okay.
Yeah. So it seems interesting.
Cool.
I will continue to stare at miniatures and see if I want to play with them or not.
Look, you played 9th once, right?
Correct.
So now it's time to move on to 10th.
Yeah.
I feel like Games Workshop and Wizards of the Coast are slowly like going in opposite directions in terms of reputation, because Wizards of the Coast like sent the Pinkertons to like go confiscate a leaked Magic deck from like a YouTuber.
Yes.
And like are having all kinds of other like scandals where they're being a super shitty fucking company.
Yes.
And then Games Workshop's like, hey guys, we're gonna actually
What
like,
I'd say-
join the modern world and give away free stuff.
When I'd say about 80% of that scandal is the Pinkertons are still around.
Well, so I knew they were because there was the one like protest thing here in Denver during the lead up to the 2020 election where a Trump protester guy got fucking shot dead after he maced a security guy who turned out to be a Pinkerton working for like 9 News. So yeah, the Pinkertons are definitely still around. Fucking.
Do you ever see going back to Blood Bowl, Jeff?
Not currently. It's mostly because no one is interested in playing it.
You guys had talked about trying to like think about doing a like
a Masters League,
Yeah.
going back to the 3rd edition or whatever the previous edition rules,
Yeah.
and just having like 8 players of just our like friends in there. That never really appeared. Ant has handed over Kill to like someone that wants to run stuff, because they've
Sure.
been wanting to combine like the Colorado Springs League and then our Denver League. So now it's all like, I think he still owns the Kill page, but he sort of gave the other person permission to just
Sure.
start up a league on there if they want to.
Yeah, have a Denver conference and a Colorado Springs conference and a playoffs at the end of the season.
Yeah, I think there was some touchy subjects of where people were like, yeah, we should really combine both leagues. Those guys in the Colorado Springs just exploded all of Blood Bowl across Colorado in the last 10 years. And it was like, not really.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely started after,
Yes.
because we didn't want to play with them.
Yes. Cool. So that's it for news then.
And Blood Bowl 3 sucked giant balls.
Yeah, was real bad.
Is continues to be real bad on the digital release. So maybe if that becomes less dog shit, I will maybe give that a try.
Okay.
Indeed.
Now
crowdfunding.
Now crowdfunding, which I don't have pulled up in any way, shape, or form, by the way.
So first up
There you go.
is Paperback 10th edition plus typewriter.
10th anniversary edition.
10th anniversary. Yeah, same thing. This is very well funded, 151,000 of its $10,000 goal, a little over 2,000 backers, and you've got 68 hours, basically 2 days to go back this one. So it's weird to me, like having been in board gaming now for about a decade. Like, yeah, I started getting into board gaming when I first moved to Denver. That was about a decade ago. Seeing things like this, I was like, I kind of remember when this game came out, and like now it's got a 10th anniversary edition, and that's time. It's weird. But so they went kind of all out here. So the 10th anniversary edition, you can get just the base game if you want. Actually, oh yeah, I forgot. Jeff always does what's the most popular pledge. You can get it at its most popular level.
There it is.
For,
the bottom one.
$92, which is the deluxe paperback and typewriter. So you can get kind of all the different combinations. You can get just paperback for $32, just typewriter for $29, just the deluxe paperback for $68, base paperback plus typewriter for $57, and then that most popular pledge for $92 is the deluxe paperback plus typewriter.
The deluxe version seems like a lot.
It is a double big box, so the box is twice as big as the base box. It comes with a bunch of new art pieces for like the books and magazines in it. From like who's who of board game stuff, like Vincent Dutrait, Quan Chi Moria, Ryan Lockett, Kyle Farron, like all kinds of like just like I said, who's who of board game artists. It also did I already? Okay. So the anniversary edition is including a new like module that you can add in called genres that are basically unique player powers that like when you use certain letters you can activate them to score additional points or do additional things. They also are adding a solo and co-op mode, and then they have the deadline variant where like I think it's meant to speed things up. You end up just like drawing a huge hand of cards instead of kind of drafting them from the common area.
Oh, gotcha. What is this typo thing?
So typos look like they're another little thing that they added. I'd missed this one when I was doing the pre-show stuff. So once per turn, you can take a random typo card, which goes into your discard pile. If you do, you get an extra 1 cent to spend that turn. They offer no benefit and cost you -1 fame at the end of the game if they are still in your deck. So you can take one to get a little bit of extra money to, buy a better letter or something.
Oh.
But if you don't find a way to get rid of it, then it costs 2 points.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, and like the ones they show examples of is like this Z or Z. If you play this card in a word, return it to the bottom of the typos deck. And then the W is triple the score of an adjacent card and then trash the tripled card. So like they just have different abilities and things like that.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then, so in addition to adding those little like module variant things, the deluxe version is going to include 2 double-sided playmats that cover the 4 different ways to play. Each of the 4 playmats will have unique artwork. They are doing 45 dual-layered tiles for the genre powers, 8 foil fame cards, clear sleeves for all the cards, and 30 custom metal book tokens. So if you want a bunch of fancy components, you can get that there.
They look fancy.
Yeah. And then typewriter, the other game you can kind of bundle into this is you draw tiles from a bag that are double-sided letters, and then you're using those to spell words. And any ones you use, you have to flip over to the other letter on the other side. And it's like one side is like easier letters and the other side is harder letters. Mm-hmm. So it's a balance between like you could use all of your easy letters in your word, but then you got to flip them all over. So then you have to use all your hard letters. So you're going to want to kind of mix and match so that you have some of each. And then you're drawing additional tiles from the bag, and it comes in like a little cloth zipper bag. So it's like meant to be very travel, very portable.
Right. As typewriters usually are.
As typewriters usually are. Yeah. They make travel typewriters. And then, like some of the tiles have abilities and things that change how things are scored and all of that. So looks like a really simple little word game that you can get alongside of it. I know I've played Paperback. I'm trying to decide if I liked it well enough and am interested enough in typewriter to justify spending $92 on this one. I do like a lot of Tim Fowler's games.
Yeah, and he's a cool guy.
He is a cool guy. So there you go.
Shipping's not too bad. $12 to $30 for the big to do.
Yes.
$7 to $14 on the low end. So not awful.
No. Some countries have additional VAT.
Yes.
But you already knew that if you live in those countries.
Yes.
Presumably. Next up, we're going to do Weirdwood Manor. This one is also very well funded, $238,000 of its $18,000 goal, a little over 3,000 backers. You've got about a week left to back this one, with its most popular pledge being scroll. Maybe that one. Nope. Keep going. No, I bet that's the one. Yeah. Most popular pledge being 115 Canadian or 85 US dollars for the deluxe edition package. So this is a 1 to 5 player co-op adventure where you are exploring this like haunted manor. You pick one of 3 fey monsters. That's the one you're going up against. And you're trying to defeat them in this interesting circular board that shifts and changes as you play. So basically on your turn, you take one of your cards and you place it at the top of your player board in this like little plan action sub. So there's like 4 phases of the day, and you place your card there and you're building up like a little tableau of actions based on the time of day. Then you update the time track on the board. It spins. You update it to where it's in the time of the action that you chose. And this does a few things. It changes the hallways, like what rooms they connect to. So it changes where you can move in the manor and things of that nature. It also counts down time. The entire game, you have 12 days to beat the monster. So like as you spend time and rotate that track, like you're advancing the days. So there's a balance of like whether you want to do an action that's going to advance time a bunch. Maybe it's worth it. Maybe you don't want to advance time that much because you're getting close to the end and you're tight on time. As you move to different rooms, they have different abilities and like actions and things that they trigger, allowing you to kind of combo and chain things on your turn. And then after you've done your little room movement, you perform the actions that are on the card that you activated for that time phase. You can perform them in any order. Different cards have different actions on them, things like moving and fighting and all of that. There's also additionally a mechanic where like cards have half circles on each side. So when you put them side by side, if the circles match up and make a solid item or solid like thing, then you trigger like additional abilities and things like that. And then you're collecting resources, upgrading what your like combat dice are, and then like getting allies and eventually fighting and hopefully defeating the monster.
It's a lot of components.
There is a lot of stuff in this game. Yeah.
Seems neat.
It does. It seems interesting. It uses standees, not minis, which I kind of appreciate, especially because they're like really nice standees. They look like they got like some clear plastic action going on.
Acrylic standees, probably.
Yeah.
Is that in the deluxe or is that even on the standard?
Does not say. Also includes yeah. It certainly looks that way. Standard edition.
Seems like they're just kind of like colored cardboard ones.
Okay,
where the deluxe comes with the acrylic.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah, and there is just a ton of tokens and things. The deluxe has things like 50 pre-painted resin clockwork scarabs, 30 wooden like water tokens, 25 wooden power tokens, 30 wooden knowledge tokens, like all these things. So, yeah. There's a few mini expansions that come with both editions, giving you little quests and things like that.
It seems like there was like an app that was like aimed at kids in this same like Weirdwood Manor.
Okay.
Where they did like they called it a that's not the word they used. I don't know. They used some weird word that was like living novel.
Okay.
Which sounds a lot like choose your own adventure.
Sure does. Branding is important.
Yeah, but I guess with the success of this, they will be trying to release another one of those as well.
That tracks.
Yeah. The Chaos Ogre, the Wraith, and the Dark Mage.
There we go.
The deluxe seems pretty cool.
Yeah.
$85.
Yep. So there you go. That's Weirdwood Manor.
Yes.
And then next up, last up, we've got Dungeons Pop. This one also well-funded, $150,000 of its $10,000 goal, a little over 2,000 backers, and again, about 48 hours to back this one. And this is a box of pop-up like D&D RPG maps. So, yeah, they're, you know, little boards. You unfold them, and a building pops up that you can then play RPG D&D stuff in.
There has been something like this before, I've seen.
Yes. There definitely has been. I think it was a different company.
Yes, I think it was.
So these are standard 1-inch grids, so they can work for pretty much all of the major RPG systems. The box, so you can get at different pledge levels. I always forget about the pledge levels. The most popular pledge, I'm pretty certain, is going to be the full box. Yarp. So it is $68 for the Origin set. So that has 3 different like map sets in it. So it's got the Telltale Tavern, that's like a little tavern with a couple side rooms and like all the outside area. It comes with 2 things of trees and a well that are all pop up. There's a broken tower, and that comes with like a dead tree, a cart, and a stack of crates that unfold and pop up. And these like the little like accessories can slot into the main boards, so you can, you know, move them around and kind of do whatever you want with the layout. And then the third and final map that comes in that full box set is the Forsaken Ruins. And that comes with like a little campfire with some tents, and then like, I don't know, 2 door region, like low walls, rubble rooms. Yeah. 2 broken buildings and campsite with tents is how they phrase it. So
I do like that they're all dry erase.
Yep. So the maps, they're dry erase. Like I said, the little accessories, like they actually like have notches in the board where you can like slot in like the trees or those walls. And presumably if you got all of the sets, you could mix and match. So you could, you know, throw the cart from the one set or the crates, you know, onto a different board to give you a little bit of variability. That was one of the things when we were looking at this that I was talking about. Like, it seems cool and all, but the idea that like, you know, how many times am I going to have my players fight in like the same tavern?
Just make them drunks, and they just have to keep coming back, and they just always, no matter what, they always wander around taverns.
Yep, I'm sure that's the exact scenario that my players want to play.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey guys, you're at the inn again. You're drunk and fighting again.
What you do is you do a Groundhog's Day scenario.
There you go.
And then it's just these same 3 over and over again. That it's super overwhelming. That they have to figure out how to do it all correctly.
Yeah, they got to figure out how to live their best lives instead of just
and they do it about 10,000 times, like in the movie.
Yeah, yeah. It's really dark when you think about how long he was in that loop. Yeah,
it's neat. This company previously had made some other like little D&D stuff, but they also did like cardboard furniture at one point or another.
Okay.
So they have some cardboard crafting background at least.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I do agree with you though. You're like, this is, I mean, $68 for 3 of them. You know,
not a bad price.
Not a bad price, but you're also just like, I wish they'd be like, here's like, because you can buy like up to 4 of them. They're like 4 different sets or something like that. Though, but obviously, like this is their first foray for this particular thing. So
yeah.
Next time
though.
You can, as some of the cheaper pledges, get like just the print and plays, or like if you wanted just the tavern, you can get like a single battle map for $28. So obviously it's cheaper to get all 3, but not by a ton. And then if you want to build it yourself, they'll give you a digital set where you can print it all off your own and assemble, and you know, tape and glue and
there you go,
all of that.
There you go. You spend a lot of time to save that $40.
Yeah. Yeah, well, if I worked at my old job where I still had unlimited access to a really nice, high quality, like color printer, then maybe I would.
Yeah,
but I don't anymore. So, yeah, that's Dungeon Pop.
Yep,
and that's it for news and Kickstarters / crowdfundings.
No fan feedback.
I don't think so. I forgot to look
because there wasn't any. That's why.
Oh, okay. You did look.
Yep, absolutely.
That sounded like it was a question.
Yep, was it a question?
Okay. All right, so that's it for this week's episode. We will be back with an episode next week. It will be
post Cabin
Con, so we'll have the entire update on our little mountain convention and all the people who are traveling in to see us and play games with us, plus all of our local friends who are just driving up for a long weekend. Should be a really good time.
See if Paul fights any cops while we're up there.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. See if Paul and or Mike Jones, either one, just get obliterated in a hot tub.
They could probably take the cops on themselves.
The two of them, I'm sure, could.
Oh, yeah.
Righteous indignation.
They're mountain cops, too, so.
Actually, yeah, being that they're Winter Park cops, they might be used to a lot of drunken hot tub shenanigans.
Yeah.
They might be better equipped than what I'm sure were Denver police who were like, yeah, this is unincorporated Adams County. Fuck this drunk guy. We're just going to go home.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's it. Thanks for tuning in to this episode. We'll be back, like I said, next week with CabinCon updates. Until then,
you should go to our Slack channel for all of the minute-to-minute Mile High CabinCon updates.
Yes, always join the Slack channel.
Yep.
It's the best way to get in touch with us.
And now everyone really wants to use our fucking Discord today. So feel free to join our Discord that we've had for over 6 years and have used only to play video games in voice chat.
Yeah.
Hey, sometimes we played board games that were video games, all right?
That's true. That is true.
Yes, there are 7 video or voice channels and 1 general channel on the Discord. Yeah. It's a great balance.
Yes.
But yeah, Slack has increasingly fallen behind the times, and Discord keeps getting better and better. So some people want to try to encourage a shift. We'll see. Either way, both are free to join. So come join, come hang out, come chat. And yeah, until next week after CabinCon, as always, I've been your host, Adrian.
I am still Zach.
And I'm Inquisitor Jeff.
Bye.
Bye.